So it makes sense that they're trying to play around the sound sensor. It's just unfortunate that you kind of have to play double Senti to fit it because she can't cover flank. I think the way they're playing it makes sense. I think it's arguably decent. The problem is this match is worthless. I think all of what we've seen from them, like logically, I like it. It's strong. It makes sense. The GravNet has like high impact. Like I will fully admit, I didn't realize it was this big. They can cover Dice and Gen. That's crazy good. I won't lie. What I don't like is that there's a skill gap between these two teams. And there's been too many gimmies. Too many rounds that Nip just won that they shouldn't have won. And so I need to see the pick more. I'm not going to lie. I came in thinking it should just be hot garbage. I'm coming out thinking there's merit to the pick with enough prep. I f with it. Okay. She's not replacement Sentinel. She's replacement KO. Okay, yeah. I'm just wondering how they use this ability. So it makes sense they don't buy it on pistol because the ability sucks. So use GravNet, we use wall. That all makes sense. All I'm saying is, look, you notice how Jet will go light armor to get 2 cloud bursts. Sova will go light armor to get 2 shock darts. Cypher will go light armor to get 2 trips or cages. Deadlock goes heavy armor because she doesn't care about this ability and she doesn't buy the second one. Nah, this is a goofy pick. We got orb prio. 1 1 1 2 3. 1 1 1 2 3. We haven't taken orb yet. Nobody took orb. Against... Bro, this isn't a serious match. This is not a serious match. I don't know what caliber these teams are, but what are they doing? We just skipped an orb. We're droning. We're peeking with drone. I guess we're playing pacing. Drone didn't even see anything though. Yeah, so we use GravNet. But you could just use KO Nade. And then you also have KO Knife and KO Flash. Yeah, okay, the wall heaven's nice, but they break it. They all die. This has to be a goofy game, right? There's just no way these dudes are actually playing. None of these are lineups as far as I'm concerned, by the way. Like anything where she's throwing GravNet, they're not even comboing it with util. That's just like a KO nade. I'm looking for any round where she does something unique. Like how do they change their playstyle? That's Deadlock. Let's see. Why did she ult this guy? He drones. He drones. Bro. Okay. She gets ult. She lands it on the drone Sova. Based. Peeks out into potentially 3. But bet. It's way too ambitious. No. I think this round's good, actually. I think that strat works. It's just like, what do you... That's the one round that I f with the pick. And that makes sense, because her ultimate's good. Nobody disagrees with that. It's just, I don't see her doing anything the other 4 rounds we've watched so far. Okay. So let's start with the proposition that it's somehow good. So normally Omen plays here, KO plays mid. Okay, but instead we get Omen mid, which does have some upsides because we get the Omen flash and TPs. Okay, Deadlock can definitely control A main. You don't really need util to control this. There's enough like goofy off angles. So their strat revolves around Deadlock passively control A main. We take sight, and then she has all of her abilities up, and so our post-plant conversion goes stonks, right?
滴血了，就是因为他在做事情，单边摧毁一些对方拿信息的能力，但是现在又是79滴血。
A 点推了，艾瑞，反应很快，接一个。
Yeah, and I mean like she just killed 2 dry. And this is not Deadlock diff. All of her abilities are up. This is NWG.
但是现在又是79滴血。
A 点推了，艾瑞，反应很快，
That's such a slow trade. Don't get me wrong, I cannot do it faster. Not even close.
前后插针再把 YR 顶掉，现在这波2换2，其实对于进攻方来说并不算太亏。
没错。
But like this round, it doesn't matter at this point.
防不胜防的位置。
Like look. She straight up just, bro, like she just comes and jump peeks the op,
没错。
and then swings the op. Okay, we win that round. Oh, we used a sound sensor. No, this makes sense. I can totally see her being good at this. In fact, I can see her being better than Omen at controlling A main. I'm just not sold that this is better than KO now. And of course he needs smokes. Seems like she's designed to be an anti-rush sentinel. She cannot play solo sentinel as far as I'm aware, which is why they're picking another sentinel. She's not a sentinel. Okay, their game theory behind the pick makes sense. I don't think it's stronger. I think it's a lot weaker. But their game theory is Omen just becomes this A main bot anyways. What if we just made Deadlock the A main bot? And so we just replace KO with Omen? I think it creates a weaker attack. Like, haven't we gotten some miracle rounds? Yeah. She's using no abilities. Is like my gripe with this is the way we've seen her played so far. The ultimate's been the only impact. And that's not selling me that this is better than KO. If it'll be Reyna. Nah. Reyna ult sucks. But KO ult is at least 80% as high impact. And then all of his other abilities are like way better, no? What if we just Molly? Okay, she throws a Molly that lands all of Gen. That's neat. You can throw the same Molly with KO though. Although I guess the Deadlock one is bigger. Can it clear dice too? If you hit the right pixel, can you get all of back dice? But okay. Okay, there's merit to this. There's merit to this hit. I'm not gonna lie. If you get this thing to land in the right place, you can get dice and gen. They just take it out behind cover, right? No, it makes noise, pen flash. It's actually quite useful. If you get privileged information, let me see where it lands. They're landing it here. Yeah. It clears everything. There is this one like safe corner maybe, but they're Omen flashing that. And so this guarantees that the enemies have to be Coffin and Hell. Yeah, but then they just don't have an answer for this, even though their util cleared this. Also, notice they do have a Deadlock lineup for this. But it didn't do anything because KO got in front of it. You're running a new roster for this event. You're just speculating. I would rather look at the pick to see how they're playing it and come to like a conclusion, you know? I don't want to be like, oh, they picked it for views, or oh, they had a sub, or oh, what? Like, throw all that shit to the side because you can't say any of that is fact. And let's just look at the pick and see if it's good. That's that. And then we form an opinion based off of how the pick was played. Do we think KO would be better or Deadlock? That's that. I don't care why they picked it. If it has to do with like some social reason or whatever. Ravnetted ourselves? Okay, so basically the idea is, follow me with this. Their game theory to Deadlock is they're basically saying, and they might be right. I don't think they are, but they're basically saying she's got these abilities, right? And they're saying that these 3 abilities are so strong that it doesn't matter that this one's worthless. They're playing GravNet for like info, CC scaling, wall for anti-flood, and the ultimate is of course objectively good. And then this ability has seen 0 action all half. It's done nothing, literally nothing. It's done nothing, and they don't buy it if they don't have money for it. In fact, they prefer heavy armor over this ability. we saw that on round 2. So they clearly don't care about this ability, which makes sense. This ability's hot garbage. So they're playing around this, but then they're playing no KO, having no flash. No, they got Omen Flash. They got Omen Flash. Even on Lotus, teams pick no Pop Flash pretty frequently. But then they just get the rounds. Like I genuinely don't see the I don't see it being better than KO. I'm not into that shit. Yeah, so again, you can see worthless ability, don't even buy it. We go Ghost, Gravnet, Wall. So they just use Wall for passive info or what? I want to see Deadlock POV, but I'm guessing she's jiggling with nade out. And Sova, does he have shocks? It's got Sheriff? Okay, here's the combo. This is actually, it's kind of dirty when you think about it. But this is only dirty because nobody picks Deadlock. Okay? I'm going to preface with that. What's going to happen is someone's going to peek. She's going to grab that. And they're going to do this. And the moment they do this, Sova's going to recon. Because they can't break the recon while they're pulling the dart off. And then he's going to spam with Sheriff. This only works because it's a gimmick that nobody's seen before. Does that make sense? That's their setup. That's what they're playing for here. This is really funny. It's actually really cool. But I don't think it works if the enemy team has seen it before. You feel? I think this only works because nobody's ever seen that. I'm pretty sure once you know it's coming, you can play around it. You tap the dart or tap the pull off or whatever. You know, there's plenty of things you can do. It would take maybe an hour of custom. Like you basically what you do is you boot up a custom with these 3 agents. You have your 2 teammates play this setup. You play as Killjoy and you just try shit until you can figure out how to get out consistently. But the reason why this Killjoy doesn't have anything like that in her playbook is because you never run into this Deadlock pick. So there is merit to this play. The way they're holding B main is fascinating. Okay, so she ends up walling to rotate because it gives free passive info. You gotta be careful though, right? Because if you wall... Yeah, you gotta be careful. You gotta be careful. But that'll make a ton of noise. Whoa! So the Vandal is weird to me. Is they're playing this... Also, notice, they don't buy this ability. Okay, nobody is saying this ability is good. It's worthless. Okay, so they've got no heavy pen. So now she's just out of util. And she has no rechargeables. Right? Her wall doesn't have a 40-second timer. It's just gone. Yeah. I'm not sold, dude. This is an equal buy round. Equal buy round. A little bit of pressure B main, and Deadlock's got no abilities. And so now I don't care about this round. Because KO's definitely better in this round. Oh my god, is that a sound sensor placed on the map? Okay, this makes sense. They're doing some creative shit. So sound sensor is like here. Okay. And then they're putting a cipher cam over there. Here. Over there. Where it can't be shot from main. So they have to come out to shoot it. And which will make noise, which will trigger the sound sensor. Which is good. It just requires 2 agents. Okay, we double hold. Does Deadlock sound sensor function when she's dead? No, it turns off. You can see it turn off there. Okay, second sound sensor is lane. Does it get disabled by KO ult? It doesn't matter. Spring just being blasted on. Is that worth instant pro garbage and rank opposite order? No, Deadlock just sucks, chat. The merit to Deadlock in this pro game, all I'm seeing is they've got gimmicks that the other team hasn't seen before. And that's the merit, which is real merit, but only in a pro match. I'm not seeing anything that's like objectively strong. I'm seeing a lot of plays that are really strong if you are unaware that they exist, which is all of them. Aaron's picked her twice, both on ASCENT. Yeah, exactly. You would never invest time to prep against a Deadlock. because one team has picked her twice, right? Yeah, so here, this makes a lot of sense. Enemy KO has ult. So they put Cypher Cam and 2 Deadlock trips on B, and then they play over on A. And so Cypher's probably going to route somewhere over here, so his trips on A stay alive if they KO ult. Yep. So they're keeping Sentinel Util up on both sides in the event of KO ult. It makes sense. He's a full buy with no sensors. His sensors are already placed on. Oh, their Cypher got their lane trip got randomed by the Odin spam. They keep nading themselves. Am I crazy? Okay, no, I can see it. Because this is actually pretty good. They're getting it out here. This hits all of Catwalk. This ability is actually like probably overtuned. So it makes sense that they're trying to play around the sound sensor. It's just unfortunate that you kind of have to play double senti to fit it because she can't cover flank. I think the way they're playing it makes sense. I think it's arguably decent. The problem is this match is worthless. I think all of what we've seen from them, like logically, I like it. It's strong. It makes sense. The GravNet has like high impact. Like I will fully admit, I didn't realize it was this big. They can cover Dice and Gen. That's crazy good. I won't lie. What I don't like is that there's a skill gap between these two teams. And there's been too many gimmies, too many rounds that NIP just won that they shouldn't have won. And so I need to see the pick more. I'm not going to lie. I came in thinking it should just be hot garbage. I'm coming out thinking there's merit to the pick with enough prep. I f with it. No, their prep looks good. It's just, I can't tell if it is good because they're not playing against a good team. No offense to NWG. Yeah, so the idea is they're not using it as the way that I hate when people say that she's like the anti-rush sentinel or something. It's so wrong. First of all, teams don't rush that much in pro play. And so this makes a lot of sense. They're using the trip as an anti-trade tool because somebody may walk up tree and take a fight, but now nobody can come in and go for the trade on that fight because of this. And so it actually allows you to play off angles with agents that normally can't play off angles. So for example, let's pretend that you put your hecking Killjoy here or whatever. She can get traded when somebody comes in, right? So normally you'd put like a Jet here or a Reyna or a Raze who can get out quickly. But with this sound sensor, you can play the off angle, kill the first guy, and the first guy will have shot at you or made a footstep or something, which will trigger the sound sensor. And so now if this guy comes into trade, they're going to get stunned. And so all of a sudden your off angle gets unlocked. You feel? And that's why they're setting up this trip right here. The same idea. You see how Jet is going to hover between these two off angles and the trips are both supporting them. So the Jet will play this off angle or she'll play like this off angle. And the trips are supporting the trade either way for that. It makes sense. I'm not sure if it's good, but it makes sense. Holy, they've got 5 ultimates. Is that both sound sensors? I think it is. Yeah, it is. She's got one on the left, one on the right. Why would you do that?
Sensor up.
Yeah, I'm like this. Why would you do that? Yeah, shoot them both at once. I mean, you're not gonna walk that far out to shoot the sound sensor in the first place. Would both be activated at the same time? Yeah, I don't get it. But there's got to be a reason. If this was like the first round, I'd be laughing at it. But they've got tech. So what the f is the tech? One sec. Okay, is that in logs? It's so hard to tell. No, it's not. You see it? There's the sound sensor. Okay, so I did throw the right one. Okay, I see the scenario. I can't believe they're playing for it though. So the idea is, walk with me here. If the enemy team starts in A default, like 2-2 and then 1, and we make noise rotating off B intentionally, but instead of rotating off, we stop right here. This dude may walk out and break and call our team over, but they just walk past them, dude. I don't know. I don't see why you'd throw 2. They only threw 2 that one round. What abilities does the enemy team have? Do they have a special ultimate? If that's Sova ult, do they use it? They do. Is it possible they're just worried that Sova ult would break this one? Like if they throw recon and ult lever? But wouldn't you just throw the one over here then? That's actually so goofy. How much angle advantage do you have here?
Over there.
Yeah. Bro, they're actually really fucking tricky. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Deadlock wall lineup. Wish we could see how they throw it. I wouldn't be surprised if this lands in a place where the specific angle that they can start shooting it is the exact angle where you can barely angle advantage their body with op right here. I wouldn't be surprised if they measured that out, because that would be possible.
Over there.
Because here you will have like 2 meters of angle advantage. I don't think the sound sensors triggered one time. I genuinely think they got 0 value, right? Did I miss a round? It's possible I missed it. Maybe too strong Deadlock popper senses like Killjoy Molly. I don't know. I'm not a game balancer. But I like the way that Riot does things. They're very hesitant to buff, and they lean towards nerfing, and they're very slow when they do buffing, and I like that. Because power creep is like the scariest thing to me, coming from League of Legends. And this is sort of illustrating why. Let's just imagine that it turns out that this pick is better than KO when you play it this way. Like, it's too oppressive. It's too hard to push into. Imagine a world where Riot just kept buffing Deadlock because she wasn't picked in pro play. And so she's even stronger than this right now. You can get to like a pre-nerf chamber scenario real fast. Like, people thought Jett was bad on release, for example. Just because the community thinks something is bad doesn't mean they need buffs. The reason why I call Deadlock Giga bad and you shouldn't play her is because there's no pro VODs. You can't go study Deadlock VODs and learn how to play her. You have to make shit up. And let's be honest, none of you are making up Sova by Sheriff. I'll Gravnet. After I throw it, you recon and spam. None of you are coming up with that. Pros are coming up with that. And so until there's pro VODs on Deadlock, like, I would say if you're picking her, you're trolling. Okay? That's just true. Like, you don't care about winning if you're picking Deadlock in your solo queue games on every map. That's unarguable. However, she's looking quite good with this amount of prep. I'm actually quite fascinated. I'm like very fascinated, actually. It actually looks reasonable. The reason it looks so reasonable to me is because on attack, this role of like controlling a main is so low impact and so necessary. You need somebody to do it, and it's really unnecessary. It's really like, it's super necessary. You have to do it, and it's low impact in that like whoever does it is out of the round. And it makes a lot of sense for that agent to be one of the weakest agents before the plant goes down. Deadlock, because she's one of the strongest once the bomb has been planted. It makes sense logically. Like, at least they're like everything they're doing here strategically makes sense, which is very fascinating. Watch the other game they use Deadlock. You got a link? I'm actually fascinated right now. Do they have her lurking A main on their defaults in this game too? Yeah. It's actually fascinating. I can't look away because it makes sense. Like, it all makes sense, chat. I'm Deadlock's biggest hater, but this looks good. I can't lie. He's beginning to believe. She's still terrible at picking solo queue until you've got pro VODs, chat. But I won't lie. You can clip it. If you pick Deadlock on Ascent and you studied both these games and you've specifically looked for the line for this wall, you've learned how to throw the hecking Gravnet lineups, you make sure your team picks a real Sentinel, then you're valid. But if you're playing solo Sentinel Deadlock and you're winging it on Ascent, you're not valid and you're trolling. But this looks completely valid in this configuration. I'm very fascinated by the pick, but we don't have enough data. KBG is looking like the same problem. KBG is not prepped to play against Deadlock. They're not aware that Aaron likes to just mosey on over right here as a default 1-3-1. And so they don't do anything about it. The bro's just holding this like all game. I want to see what he does if he gets pressured. What does he do if he gets KO knifed and they creep up? I don't know. When will we ever get a truly Sentinel again? If you mean a Sentinel that has Util that covers the flank, I believe Riot's already openly stated they're trying to move away from that as like a core identity of a Sentinel role, which I agree with. I don't think roles should require a certain thing. Sentinels should be better at holding down sites, but for whatever reason, they became flank bots. And the current meta requires that, but I'm so down for a fucking Cypher Killjoy chamber nerf that reduces their ability to do that. I'm so down for that because it's so good that you have to pick it right now. It's really annoying. Hey, Woohoojin here. Did you know that I stream every weekday doing VOD reviews and playing ranked? If you enjoy the videos, the best way to support me is to show up live. If this video was just uploaded, it's very likely that I'm streaming right now. All of my coaching is free, but that means I need to make money in other ways. Please consider supporting me with a Discord subscription if you can afford to do so. I run many live events for my tier 3 subscribers as a thank you for letting me pursue my passion every day. At 2,000 subscribers, I'll be booking a flight out to EU and to APAC to play in-houses on your servers. Thank you for supporting me.